Hi, this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about spiritual warfare. I have another channel on astrology and a Facebook page on prophetic writing, which you find in the description box below. The usual caveat, there are individuals who are impersonating me, they're doppelgangers, they're stealing my identity. Please don't engage with them. Now, on the topic of this video, God has guided me to continue what the series of information and message, providing messages from God regarding the new phase which we have entered, and basically those are the videos related to Halloween and to the path forward, by basically signing up for assignments in order to roll back dark forces which created 3D, literally crumbling the 3D. God asked me to reveal in this video basically some information which I have been researching throughout this time related to this decision of signing up for assignments. Yeah. And I remind everyone that the karmic board meeting takes place in December. We have 1 month and a half for people to sign up for assignments with God in order to fight next to God, together with God, to crumble down the 3D creation. Now, the information that I will provide in this video is related to how this can be done. It's literally, it's all about energy. I said in previous video, a soul embodiment, a soul, a DNA, it's an energy creation by God. Yeah, everything is energy, the soul, the DNA, so on. A human embodiment pertains of a body, a vessel, yeah, in which God makes makes a soul embodiment, sends a soul from the divine realm into incarnation to basically become a certain identity with a certain purpose on earth, right? As I explained, as long as you accept darkness upon you, there is a gap created between the human embodiment and the energetic aura, the energetic body, the soul. Yeah, everything that is energy in your body. And it's pretty simple and logic. If God gives you pure energy and you take darkness upon you, then the darkness forces the light to leave. Which one you empower will take domination over your body. You empower darkness with your choices, then the darkness will take power and will push out the light. Then God will take the soul, because the soul, it's God's creation. You cannot do anything with it. Only God can take it back if you do not create the proper conditions in your body to uphold the embodiment which God gave you. God gave you an embodiment which has a clear assignment. As long as you make choices which go against the assignment of the soul is taken by God. I explained as well, if this happens, God will find another human to do embodiment of that soul on that human, so the assignment will be carried out. It is very simple. Of course, God doesn't give up on humans. If you repent and redeem, He's gonna send you a different soul or the same soul. But you must prove that you are worthy of receiving another soul, because God will never sacrifice a creation of His own, namely the soul, because you make poor choices. God will deliver karma to you until you learn the lessons, and when you prove you learn the lessons and you prove that you want to make good decisions, God will give you another chance. But unless you do that, nothing is changing. You're just going to be in a stalemate and continuous paying karma. Okay, I will give you one example so you will see that this is true. Basically, when I started my conscious spiritual fighting, And God gave me a lot of gifts because I asked for assignment to break the bondage, even if the circumstances of my initial embodiment changed completely, radically, namely that everyone that was supposed to work with me on that assignment betrayed me and started attacking me and so on. I said, I don't care. I will go on my own, and I will break this by myself. So God shaped up a different assignment for me in such a way so I can break the entire bondage on my own. Yeah. And at that point, God was giving me a lot of spiritual gifts and teaching me to work with them. So I became overwhelmed somehow with being grateful, of course, but also being amazed by all of this. So I asked God how this works. And at some point, there was a long discussion between me and God. I will not reveal all of it, but I will reveal to you what is important to understand for your benefit. Namely, I asked at some point, God, for this and this and these gifts and assignments and so on, am I the only one on earth who received this from you? Because it's just so much, and it becomes overwhelming in the sense that it's too much for a single person to do. And God explained to me what I wrote in a prophetic writing in 2019. There are 5 vortexes of energy on earth. And in each vortex, I explained this. You will find similar embodiments, similar identities, which are supposed to carry out exactly the same purpose, the same assignment. Yeah. But God explained to me, we give chances to many and we see potential in many, but we adjust if they prove to work against their purpose, regardless why they do this. We can argue about that endlessly, because they were programmed, because the bondage done on them, because people betrayed them, whatever. The point is, they did not uphold the embodiment. Therefore, we choose to go forward with that one who upholds the embodiment. So I learned that I was not the only one on earth that could have done this, that had the chance, the opportunity given by God to do this. But at that point, I was the only one who upholded the embodiment and who voluntarily requested to continue the fight even when the circumstances foreseen for that assignment completely changed dramatically against me. And I said, no, I will carry out the assignment. I don't stop. I don't care what they did. I will fight against everyone and I will still win. So I'm telling you this so you will understand that I was not the only one who could have done this. There were other people who had exactly the same chances as me, but it was their choice which made the difference, or it was my choice which made the difference. Namely, that I was the one who did not give up because everybody was against me. And I said, no, I will cut everybody out. And I will still carry this out. As long as God is with me and Jesus is with me, I will carry this out on my own against everyone. And I will still win. And because of my attitude, my choice, and my determination, God was able to work through me. Do you understand? So I want you to understand the power you have in determining the success of your assignment, regardless who is against you, regardless how big the assignment seems to be, and regardless the circumstances other people create around you. God will work with you second by second to guide you and to adjust a strategy in such a way so you will win. So again, a soul embodiment is an energy which is given by God, because the soul is created by God. It's a blueprint. But the reality in 3D changes continuously. Therefore, it's a constant adjustment, and it's only your determination to stay in light with God which matters. Because as long as you have the determination to carry on the fight, to stay in light, to work with God and achieve the assignment, then God will adjust himself to the situation and will create a new strategy for you, will give you new gifts, will give you new embodiments, will help you get through it. He works through you. You need to understand. And another thing which is totally related to this was a question which was puzzling me, because I said to God in recent research, I said, you're confusing me, because there are people who you say they're soulmates of mine, but then they are soulmates with others who work against us. And I don't understand this soulmate relation anymore, because it's just too much information which is going head to head. And God showed to me a human can be soulmate with, first of all, humans and embodiments, human embodiment, come from different races. Each race has a different type of gift. You have Pleiadians, you have Sirius, you have many races, yeah, which work together on Earth, yeah. A human can have many souls, soulmates, pertaining different stages of evolution of his soul. Yeah, so you can have the initial soulmates from God's lineage when you carry out a pure embodiment according to the blueprint created by God. Then you are from God's lineage, and you are soulmate with everybody from God's lineage, which means different races, many different races. Yeah, but as you transform and you allow your energy to change, yeah, you go through different stages and you become soulmate with different other types of lineages which are not God's lineage. Yeah. So the same human can be soulmate with somebody and can be part of God's lineage pertaining what type of, how pure his embodiment is, how close the embodiment you carry is to the blueprint created by God. Basically, how close you are to God and how much work you do with God. As you advance on your spiritual path and you do spiritual work with God, you ascend, and once you ascend, you are part of God's lineage, regardless what race you came from. Yeah. Up until you ascend, there are many stages in which you uphold the soul received from God, but you are not upholding the pure blueprint which God created yet. You are work in progress, God says. You are work in progress, yeah. And at each stage, you still have in your DNA different level of darkness, which darkness doesn't come necessarily from working harm on others. It can also darkness can come from deep wounding, which is a lower vibration. Then you are not ascended yet. You're on your way to ascension. And until you ascend, you are not part of God's lineage yet. You did not return to the original blueprint yet. You still have work to do on yourself. And you do this by doing redemption, by doing good deeds, by doing good for humankind, for others, helping others, doing God's will onto others, on earth, in your life, in everything you do, you think, you feel, and you accept. And when I say accept, that means even if you sit idle and watch how others are being harmed and you don't do anything, that is also accepting some kind of darkness onto you. Okay? That which you accept, that darkness which you accept, will be a blockage on your way to ascension and will stop you from becoming part of God's lineage. So basically, God asked me to convey this message. This is many of the research I do is just for me to understand things so I can know how to relate to certain situations and what decisions to make. Yeah. And this is how you pass tests, basically, if you understand from higher perspective. But some of the information God guides me to share with you. And God guided me to share with you this information now because it's very much related to the previous video regarding the people who signed up with God for assignments. So they will understand that they can become part of God's lineage. God will show you what kind of embodiment He needs you to do, what kind of bondage you need to break. And once you achieve that, you become part of God's lineage, regarding what race you came from and regarding what was your initial assignment upon your incarnation. As I said, things changed dramatically since your incarnation. So most of the time, for most of us, what was foreseen at your incarnation, I wouldn't say it's not valid, but it's not enough for a successful spiritual path. This is why they create the bondages. So you will not be able to ascend to God with your initial assignment upon incarnation. But God will work with you creatively and will give you different assignments, different embodiments, and you will gain authority and power through those, yeah, which is a surprise for them because they don't know. It's a current decision God makes, so they don't have time to create bondage on that. And God is literally elevating you through totally different embodiments than you were foreseen initially to do. And once you got to the point to be elevated enough and even ascended, then you will return to break bondage on your initial embodiment as well. But you will return from a position of power. You see? So I keep telling this, and I really would like everybody to see how God is extremely creative and very strategic in everything He does. And He will find a way to work around the blockages they created, because God knows exactly what everybody thought, how everybody was blocked, by whom, and God will give you a totally different embodiment and will take you away from those who created blockages for you, enough for you to receive and achieve the right level of power and authority, so you can actually return to the initial stage, to your initial enemies, on a totally different footage, and so you can defeat them, so you can win. You understand? And nothing is too much. You know, I explained my example just so you will know that I myself, when they gave me the new assignments, I was overwhelmed. I was like, oh my God. But you must understand that God has a plan. And simple fact that you have determination to go forward regardless what happens, and you have faith in God of working through you, you will succeed through all of those. God will. I want to share something that my spiritual guides showed me from the divine realm. That every time when you do something, they can work through you, because it's your creation, and because they gave you the assignment to create. You see, so you can make. It's one thing to pray to them to work through you. I want you to understand that is the passive way of spiritual fighting, the prayer. Yeah, it's still a spiritual fighting, but it's passive way. Then when you actually create on your own, and you do on your own bondage breaking and spiritual fighting, they will work through you, because they say, this is the assignment we gave him, to fight against this dark force. So even if you at that particular time you don't really have that much power to defeat that force, they will work through your energetic body. They will literally, and I will explain to you what I see when this happens. God, it's like God walks through you. Do you understand me? It's like God works through your energetic body. and defeats that force, because he says, no, this is the assignment I gave him. Nobody stops him. As long as he's determined to continue to carry out this assignment, nobody will stop him. If that individual doubts himself and hesitates to carry it out, then darkness will pull him down. But if that individual is fully determined and nobody convinces that individual that he can do that with God, then God will literally work through you. So this is just so you will understand that literally the entire divine realm will help you. As long as you stay determined to actually do this and you believe this with your whole being. This is very important because a lot of this is being done on a subconscious level. They will send to you doubts and all sorts of thoughts. As long as you reject them and you keep making your affirmations, even as you make the affirmations, God is working through you. And your spiritual guides go through your energetic field to cast out the darkness which is not yours, but is projected at you in order to doubt yourself, to be unconfident, to not have self-confidence. As long as you do the work, making the affirmations is part of the spiritual fighting, and literally, this is the purpose of the affirmations. Stating out loud, you will receive, that is an energy work. And as I explained, you state out loud what you think and what you feel, and you notice if your energy is matching your thought. If not, it means somebody implanted some thought or emotion in order to drag you down. When you do this on a ritual basis, establishing a certain time when you do affirmations and so on, and you claim justice, judgment, and punishment, those are moments of spiritual fighting when your team from the divine realm with God will work through you, and they will literally walk and pass through your body, through your energy body, to cast out what is not yours, namely the darkness which is projected upon you. And this is how you actually make it. This is how you actually successfully elevate, ascend, and become or return to be part of God's lineage. The purpose of this video is to remind those who are part of God's lineage how they should return back home to God, but also to show to others who now are maybe for the first time faced with the opportunity to become part of God's lineage and ascend to become part of God's lineage, that you can do it. You can do it, and God is willing to elevate you and to work with you way beyond the initial assignment which you received upon incarnation. The initial assignment was what God foreseen for you, but you can change that. You can surprise God and do much more than He assigned you to do. And God will never say, I can guarantee, God will never say, no, you only had assignment to walk 3 steps. We will wait for you to die, so you will come in another incarnation, so you will walk further. God will never say this. You will walk the 3 steps earlier than you were foreseen to do, and you want to go forward to walk all the way. God will help you to do that, and you will create great joy for God. And you will surprise God in a positive way by achieving much more and giving to God the opportunity to achieve through you much more than He initially foreseen. Yeah. So basically, this is how energy, body, DNA, and soul embodiment works. As you do the healing and the spiritual fighting, you transform. You clean that DNA from everything that was created on that. And if there is a blockage on this path, then God will create embodiments on you, which will help you to gain enough power and authority in face of darkness, so you can actually return to your initial assignment later on a different footage. This is very important. And of course, this is the part of the energy work and the choices you make, the attitudes you have. But then, of course, you will always have to complement that by doing good deeds and doing redemption, because this gives God the opportunity to give you divine grace, which essentially it's an instant elevation. Yeah, so you work with that as well, and it's instant elevation and healing on yourself and on those for whom you have done a good deed. And of course, I remind everyone, redemption means doing right for the people that you have harmed. If you stole from someone, go the fuck and give back what you stole, because it's only gonna drag you down. It's not gonna help you. As long as you keep something that you stole, literally, you cannot advance. I explained from energetic perspective how this works, specifically so people will understand that this is not a trick. Nobody is tricking you to give back just for the fun of it. You cannot advance. It's first of all in your advantage to give back what you stole. Because guess what? Those from whom you stole will still receive what was theirs from God. God, and I have this experience, God will find different people that will come and will gift to them what you stole and what was theirs. They will still receive it one way or another from somebody else, if not from you. But guess what? The one who came and gifted this one will receive divine grace and will elevate by that and will heal the DNA, while you, the one who stole, will still be stuck with the darkness. And you will still keep wondering how to heal this darkness in yourself. And you will be still blaming others for the blockages in your life, when in reality, it's your fault. Not because others didn't contribute in what was created, but because you refuse to give back and to go and confess and do redemption. And you refuse to push out the darkness which you took upon yourself, regardless how that happened. God knows how that happened. So there's no point in just denying and pretending and refusing to come through and to do redemption. But that's your choice again. And I once more say, regardless if you refuse to do the right thing, God will find different individuals to do soul embodiment with them, and they will carry out that task. The whole world cannot stop in place because of a stupid jackass who is stubborn and refuses to do the right thing. This is very important information, and also very obvious information. So I hope everybody takes heed to this. This is very important information for everyone, regardless where they stand. It's important for those who actually work with God. And I am very happy to know that there are people who signed up for assignments with God. This is a spectacular moment. This is a historical moment. And it is clear that we advanced enormously. Every minute counts, because everybody is adjusting strategies now as we exposed what was the bondage of the creation of the 3D. Hence, the crumbling down of the 3D already begun. So every minute counts. This is my personal message. Every minute counts in all of this. Because everybody's adjusting strategies, and what was valid a few weeks ago will be changed because of this. Because I'm trying to convey to you how important this timing is, because this was exposed. All these who cling to 3D are very much panicked, and they will get to change, to make new decisions. try new type of attacks, and so and so. Therefore, you see how my throat chakra is attacked continuously on this message. Therefore, every minute counts. Every minute counts. It's very important that you make your decision. Do not wait until the karmic board meeting. You can write an astral letter now in which you already state your objectives and the desire to sign up for spiritual assignments with God and so on. Even now, you don't have to wait until then, because the karmic board is watching. They know and they read what you do and what you write. The council is informed. And I must tell you that when you sign up for an assignment with God, and God updates your blueprint and your assignment, the council holds a special meeting on your case, because they need all to come together with the karmic board and with the Akashic records and with everybody in order to decide on the strategy and what type of assignment to give you. And I tell you, it's beautiful to watch this, because everyone from divine realm comes together, and ancestors who have nobody to work with, because the people who carry their assignment went to work with darkness. Everybody says, I seen this, and everybody goes to God and says, I want to help him, I want to give him a gift, I want him to work with me, because it's not just about you. Everything, all bondages that you break are about different things which are happening on earth. For example, I'll give you an example. The spirit of water will go to God and will say, I need somebody to break a bondage which was created on water, as these scripts are using water to do harm. And I need a man to carry on spiritual fighting on this. And if he signs up for this and you assign him to do this, I will give him this gift. Then the spirit of fire will come and will say the same. I need somebody to come and to work with me, because all the men who were supposed to do bondage breaking on the element of fire are working with darkness now, and are using the element of fire to do sexual attacks on people. And I need a man to work with me. And if you assign this man to work with me, I will give him this gift. Everybody, I have seen this with my spiritual eyes, and God has shown this to me when I signed up, because he said, because you have been so brave and you signed up voluntarily for this, let me show you what you created in the divine realm. And God showed me how all ancestors were going to him from totally different races, and they will say, we want to make a partnership with her race in order to help her. We also want to give her gifts, and we also want to ask her to do embodiments for our breaking bondage. Do you understand? It's extremely beautiful thing that you become part of, and everybody is not only willing but happy and eager to help you from the divine realm. You will suddenly discover to have a wide spiritual team helping you, which was not foreseen initially. But the way you signed up voluntarily for a new assignment, they also come forward and sign up to work with you, although they were not meant to up until that point. So it's a very beautiful thing that you create by doing so. Yeah, I just wanted you to know this, because I would like people who signed up to understand how much God and everybody from divine realm is matching your steps forward and your determination, and how much rewards you will receive in many different forms. So you will understand that it's a mutual thing, and it's a very beautiful thing you do. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop here now. I hope this message will find its way to everybody who is meant to hear or needs to hear this. And I thank everyone who signed up to work with God, as I believe deeply that this way I will finally maybe meet some soulmates who actually walk the same path as I do.